Today we are finding tax given a situation, okay, or finding the total cost given the tax in a situation, okay? The formula we're going to use for this is going to be x or 1x plus the tax times x is going to equal that total cost. Okay, so x just stands for the amount of the item or the amount of the dinner. Okay, the dollars spent is essentially what that's going to uh, stand for. Okay, so if we take a look here, find the total cost to the nearest cent. Okay, so this is dollars, so we can have two decimal places. So if I'm going to follow this, in order to find that total cost, I have to take the original amount and add the amount of money with tax that it's going to be. Now, tax is going to be written as a decimal. Okay, which means when they give us 8% tax, I actually need to turn 8 into a decimal. Okay, and that is in order to go from a percent to a decimal, I have to divide by 100. So that is going to be 0.08 is going to be my tax. I'm going to multiply that by the cost of my dinner. Okay, and then I'm adding the original cost of the dinner. So the cost of the dinner plus the amount that it's going to cost for the tax is going to give me that total amount. So I am multiplying 0.08 times 30, and then I'm going to add that to the $30 that we spent on dinner. And that is going to tell me that the total cost of dinner after tax is going to be $32.40. I got 32.4 in my calculator here. And since I'm rounding to the nearest cent, you can't have $32.4, so you have $32.40. So we add that zero there. Okay, do the same thing here. So again, we're paying $42 for the sweater plus the amount with tax. So again, my percent written as a decimal is 0.05 because I did 5 divided by 100 to get that. And then I'm multiplying that by the cost of my sweater. And that's going to give me that total cost. So 42 times that 0.05, and that gives me $2.20 is the amount I'm paying in tax. Then I'm going to add that to my original cost of the item, 42. So my total cost here is going to be 44.1, which is $44.10 is going to be the new cost of my sweater with tax. Okay. And let's take a look at number 4 here. The tax here is 5.5. So I am still dividing by 100, which is going to give me, so my computer is $890 plus 0.055 is what I get when I multiply or divide that by a 100. And I multiply that by the cost of the computer. So for my $890 computer, I am multiplying that by 0.055, and that means I'm going to pay $48.95 in tax. And I'm adding that to the original cost of my computer, which means the total I'm going to pay for my computer is $938.95. That's the total that I'm going to pay at the counter. Okay, there are 3 more just like that that you can try. Okay, let's come down and take a look. These are written out a little bit. They're going to be solved the exact same way. So Michelle purchases a tablet that costs $85. The sales tax rate in her city is 7.5%. What is the total cost of the tablet? So 7.5 would be 7.5%. Okay, again, divide that by 100. That means the tax is 0.075. Okay, so I'm going to take my $85 for the tablet and I'm going to add that to the cost of my tax, 0.075 times that 85. Okay, so 85 times 0.075, that means the amount of tax I'm paying is $6.38. It says 3.375. That 5 is going to round the 7 up to an 8. And then I'm going to add that to the $85 of the original item. Okay, so that means I am going to pay $91.38 for the tablet. All right, and there are several more that you can try just like that as well. And then we're going to come down and take a look at number 13. This says the cost of the hotel room during Darwin's trip was $275, so $275. The hotel tax rate in the city where he stayed was 11.5. So again, divide it by 100. I am going to get 0.115 as my tax as a decimal. And again, I will still multiply that by 275. And that will give me a total of 275 times 0.115 is $31.63 for my tax. And that will be added to the original cost of the room. So the total cost of the room is actually $306.63. Again, I got 0.625, but the 5 rounded that 2 up to a 3 here. So $306.63. Okay, that's when we're looking for, again, that total cost. Now, if they ask just for the tax, this is what you're going to give as your answer. Okay, but these are asking for the total cost of the room, which means you need the amount of the room plus the amount that's going to be taxed, and then add those together to get the total. Okay, let's try one more like this. Miss Winnell stayed in a hotel room for 5 days on a business trip. The room cost $625, so $625. The hotel rate in the city where she stayed is 14%. Okay, so 0.14 because I turned that percent into a decimal times my $625 I spent on the room for 5 days. That's going to be $87.50 in tax, and I'm going to add that to the cost of the room. Okay, so $87.50 is the amount of tax. $625 is the cost for the room before tax. When I put those together, I get $712.50. Okay, there's 2 more just like that that you can try there. Okay, and these are going to be solved the exact same way. Again, they're asking for total cost. So Regina purchases a new ceiling fan. The fan costs $79.95 before tax. Sales tax rate in her city is 7.25. So we have $79.95 plus that tax 0.0725 times the $79.95 is going to equal my total cost. So my tax is going to be, it says 5.796. That 6 rounds that 9 up to a 10. So it's actually going to be $5.80 in tax for $79.95. And then I'm going to add that to the $79.95, and my total is going to be $85.75 for the ceiling fan. Okay, there are 3 more that you can try just like that.